So I actually ended up finding the chapstick in the last place I would have thought of looking for it because, you know, the cold front left town. It was actually in my jacket, so go fucking figure. I can be really stupid sometimes. Anyways, what's up, guys? Welcome to Wednesday's upload. I have a match for you today against someone by the name of MrTinnPeach. This guy gave me like 38 TCGO codes, and I was like, that is a lot of fucking codes. And then he came on my live stream and I was like, hey, you want to play? I was like, fuck yeah, you know, it's the least I can do. So we had ourselves a nice little standard match. I thought it was great. I'll go ahead and point out a couple things about it, because that's what I do in a narration. But we'll go ahead and play that back right now. Okay, so you can see Firewater Grass right off the bat, and then he's got, you know, other stuff. It's a pretty well-rounded team, if I say so myself. I mean, that Evilite Tangela is going to give me some degree of trouble. But since I got Little Hat and friends, if he decides to lead with Landers, outside of that, I'm not really threatened by anything else. So I'm going to go ahead and lead with Rotom and see how he decides to respond to it, because a lot of his things are actually going to be threatened off by an Overheat, which he's not going to want to take. So he leads off with Landers. I don't want to take a Stone Edge. I don't care if he goes for a U-turn. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go to Virizion, because Virizion can take the Edge Quick combo. Won't really necessarily like taking a U-turn or a predicted, you know, Hidden Power Ice or something like that. But don't really want to over-predict on the first turn, so whatever. He goes for a Stone Edge. I'm suspecting that he's Scarfed as well, so what I do right here, and what I think he should have done, I'll explain both of these, but he went to Heatran to take the Leaf Blade. I personally would have gone to Tangela. That's more of a dedicated physical wall. I mean, he probably could have gone to that, predicting the Hidden Power Ice as well. But I'm under the impression that Tangela would have taken a Hidden Power Ice nicely as well. So instead he goes to Heatran to either take that or, you know, the Leaf Blade, depending on what kind of variant of Virizion he thought I was. And as a result, actually ends up losing his Heatran on the second turn. And if it does turn out to be the Rocks variant, like I think it was, he's not going to get Rocks up for the rest of the game. Hey, that works out for Rotom and Murkrow, and to an extent Mamoswine, I suppose. But I set up the Swords Dance not really knowing what he's going to want to do. I don't really see Tangela as much of a threat. It's just going to take hits and then just switch out with Regenerate, you know, do all that stuff, so it's whatever. But he sends in Zapdos. I figure I might as well stay in, burn some sleep turns off. And it's at this point where I'm like, okay, I don't know what Zapdos wants to do, but I don't want to take a Heat Wave in case he has it. So I end up switching out to Rotom, and I know Rotom walls like nearly every variant of Zapdos aside from the Sub-Roost set. Sub-Toxic set, or whatever the hell you want to call it. But I take T-Bolt, I take Heat Wave, I take Hidden Power Grass and Ice. I think the only way it can touch me is if it has Hidden Power Water or Rock. I think those are the only two things that will hit me. But I go for Will-O-Wisp on the switch because I know Zapdos isn't going to want to stay in. I end up catching the Jellicent on the switch, which, you know, I probably would have wanted Toxic. You know, it would have been nice to come in with Tentacle, set up Toxic Spikes, and then get a 2-layer on that. But I won't really necessarily Mind Burn either. I have a lot of things I can take down Jellicent, so what condition I put on it isn't really a big concern to me. So he actually makes a very nice play, knows that he's going to draw out my Tentacruel with that, and he ends up switching out to Zapdos, makes a double switch. So I'm just going to go right back out to Rotom, because as long as Rotom is alive, Zapdos cannot and will not, you know, touch my team unless he keeps doing this play like this, which, you know, it's really not going to do that much to me. That's a Life Orb T-Bolt. I take it alright. I don't have Paint Split on this Rotom. I'm probably going to end up putting it on eventually, since I have not used Shadow Ball on this thing. It's so circumstantial, and it's not even stab anymore, so that's just me being dumb. But I predict the switch back to Jellicent, going to go for a T-Bolt. Does a pretty good amount, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, you know why it does a good amount? Because that's a crit. That's a crit. I don't know if he's physically defensive or specially defensive, but I think we saw in the previous turn that my leftovers went before his leftovers and burn and such. So if he'd have decided to stay in and fought it out, then whatever. Otherwise, I probably would have taken it out somewhere along the way with, you know, with Virizion or something like that. I don't even know. It wasn't really that big a threat to my team, so that's why I'm saying that crit doesn't matter. But I'm going to switch out, predicting the Stone Edge. He goes for the U-turn, you know, just to try to get some momentum going. So far, you've taken out the fire of this Firewater Grass core. It means that a lot of things on my team are going to have a lot easier time. Especially since Heatran did have the Flash Fire, I can go right back out into Rotom, and I have nothing, what am I trying to say? I don't really have any reason not to go for an Overheat at this point, because, I mean, Metagross comes in. If Metagross wants to set up the rocks, I don't give a shit. I don't know why he stays in. He told me he was predicting something that kind of made sense. You know, maybe the T-Bolt, predicting the Jellicent to come in. If I see a Metagross, you know, I'm just going to go for the Overheat. There's not really anything on his team, as I already mentioned, that is really going to appreciate one at this point in the game. So Metagross is down after only, you know, firing off a Meteor Mash, and I at ×4 resist. That Fire Electric is actually a pretty good combo now that I think about it. It takes a lot of things. So, what I'm going to do, now that I see Landorus again, I'm going to go out to Virizion. And all Virizion's been doing this match, I took out a Heat Train, and it's just taking Stone Edges from this thing. And I'm trying to burn off sleep turns, but honestly, they keep resetting after, you know, X amount of turns. I think I ended up getting a 3-turner in this one. But I might as well just use that. I was using it as sleep fodder the whole time, and I was like, you know what, we'll just use it to run out Stone Edges, and we'll just go from there. So, anyways, I speed this up a little bit because Lil Hat's being a dick here. He doesn't actually end up parastrapping anything. He just ends up trying to stall this Landorus out of Stone Edges, which I think actually ends up working because he switches out after a certain number of turns, and I think he's already fired off a bunch of them. But he's going to switch out to a Zapdos, which is kind of what I was expecting. I didn't really expect him to stay in there and fire off all the Stone Edges, but he didn't really want me to get the free setup as well, so that kind of makes sense to me. Now that I got a sub up, you know, don't waste a good sub, especially if you can take advantage of something behind it. So I'm just going to go ahead and go for the Roost. There are no rocks up, but I still want to be at full health just in case I want to be able to do some more Paris trapping shenanigans, you know, later, which I don't actually think I end up doing. But full health is better than half health, so I'll take a hit. I'll go out. And I do have a Mamoswine left. So what I wanted to... Actually, you know what? Fucking Rotom hasn't died yet. I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. But I go into Rotom to take that. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he gets a crit on this turn, which actually hurts a lot more than I thought it would. And that brings me down to 6, and I'm like, shit. Okay, what I can do, since he doesn't have rocks, is I can use this thing as a pivot switch, you know, death fodder, stuff like that. So, I decide to switch out. I know he's probably going to go for the T-Bolt again because it's stab and it'll finish me off. Very risky play considering he could have gone for the Heat Wave right there, finished off my Mamoswine in one shot, knowing that he would have finished off Rotom right there. So, he had an opportunity for a good play, didn't take it. I'm really glad he didn't because it turns out the rest of his team is really Ice Weak. I mean, Tangela is weak to Icicle Crash. I'm surprised at how much that Icicle Crash does, or how little it does, you know, given that it's weak to it and everything. It's like fucking half health. Like, what? Okay. So, Icicle Crash is a clean 2-hit KO, thankfully, because he doesn't have lefties, because he's got Eviolite. He has Landorus left, which is weak to the Ice Shard, if I'm not mistaken, and then he's got Zapdos, and then he might have 1 or 2 other things left. I don't really remember at this point. But that's going to die to a ×4 super effective Ice Shard, which is, you know, good stuff. Kind of just waiting on the rest of this match, to be honest. My hand itches a little. I don't know. Anyways, Zapdos comes in. Fun fact about his name, there actually is a set on Smogon called the MS-DOS set. But the thing is nobody runs it because it's a Metal Sound set. It's like Metal Sound and then like fucking Roost and then T-Bolt and Heat Wave or something like that. But here's the opportunity I take to, you know, go ahead and use Rotom as death fodder. So I do that, and then if I'm not mistaken, what I do at this point is I'm like, he's at half health. I might as well just go into Alakazam, try to take him out with Psychic from half health. I'm thinking I will because he's not bulky. And then if for some reason it doesn't take him out from half health, I still have Mamoswine with the Ice Shard. So I go for Psychic, and I think that cleans up the game. So I thought that was pretty fun. Losing Heat Train for him in the first turn really did lose him a lot of his potential momentum. But kind of just goes to show you how you can break down cores and then, you know, just get to the meat of the team from there. So, I thought it was a pretty interesting game. If you guys did, go ahead and leave a like, comment, subscribe. Also, be sure to leave a thank you on his channel, you know, because he gave me all those codes. I tore right through those things. Man, it is fun opening up booster packs. Anyways, that'll do it for Wednesday's upload. Once again, don't really have anything to address. Just kind of been just a regular old week for me, you know. So, Thursday, Friday upload, LPs as scheduled. I'll probably make some other videos on the side sometime this week, maybe tomorrow or something like that. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow.